The rotational pivot point is vital when you're doing character animation in Toom Studio. Now, we can move the pivot point in one of two ways. The permanent way, which is what you would do when you're establishing cutout animation joints or hinges, and the temporary way, which is by using the selection tool to move the pivot point just to make a minor adjustment. But of course, I recommend just going ahead and putting it where it belongs in the first place and ignoring the blue pivot point altogether. So I'm going to grab my rotational tool here, my rotate tool, and I'm going to grab the pivot point and put it where it belongs on this character's left forearm, right here. So when I'm ready to animate my character, I can then grab this handle and I can rotate his arm right where it's supposed to rotate. Now, what you could do is do that for all the parts of your character that you need to. So you can go ahead to the right forearm, for example, put that where it belongs. And then you can click on the hips. And slowly but surely, just put the pivot points in all the regions where things are going to bend. You might want to make sure that the head pivot point is going to be by the neck, so you can have the head tilting up and down, that kind of thing. So we can go ahead and rotate his head. And he can go ahead and do his nod. And of course, I would have to move that just to experiment with that. Probably put it over here would be a better spot for it. But this pivot point is pretty important so that when you're ready to animate your characters, all you have to do is click on the selected part so you can animate that character based on the proper pivot points and where the joints would go. So once again, the select tool is just to temporarily move the pivot point. So you want to make sure that you put it where you think it should be from the very beginning, and you'll have less problems as you're about to animate your characters in your cutout animations or in any other animation where something's going to rotate about a pivot point.